temple. Your tears rinse my feet. I walk out, I'm able to carry your peace. It reminds me of a song that I heard long ago. Maybe I've always known that you were right there. A simple melody playing over and over in my dreams. But somehow out of reach, eluding me until I release. You come close to me when I release, and I let you take the lead when I release. My heart starts to see when I release. When I release, you said, come to my garden, eat from my tree, step in my river, let it take you deep. Your heart is my temple, your tears rinse my feet. You walk out, you're able to carry my peace. It's an ancient sound heard from the ones who came before. Now it's here once more to pierce your soul. A simple melody playing over and over in your streets, like a whirlwind turning things, tearing down the dark. That's where I release, and my heart starts to sing when I release. I let you take the lead when I release. You come close to me when I release. When I release, it's all in your feelings. It's all how I receive your sound. All in your feelings, your emotions, they find me out. It's all in your feelings. It's all how I receive your sound. All in your feelings, your emotions, they find me out when I
What's up, everybody? We are live in the Lion's Den. I see y'all checking in the chat room. Make sure you guys hit that like button and share this video. We're going to talk about some things going on right now. People getting fired all over the place. The corporate news is in free fall. And, a lot of crazy things happening in the world. But you are watching Young Lion TV. Let's go.
Young lion, everywhere I look, they're dying. Everywhere I look, they're dying. Young lion, everywhere I look, they're dying. Everywhere I look, they're dying. Young lion, won't you get up and start fighting? Everywhere I look, they're hiding. Young lion.
Yes, sir. Young Lion TV is here. We're live and we're in the Lion's Den. And shout out to everybody who's checking in right now. My mom is checking in. She is not here with us tonight because she's under the weather. So we got a special guest producing this evening. But I got to give a shout out to my brother sitting next to me with the cool Young Lion hat that he got today. Nice little merch from the merch store. Mr. Simone Chang, the coolest Asian in the world, is with me today.
I'm I.
And then I think someone in the chat would agree with me. And then I got my brother with me on the other side. He's rocking the worst Star Wars shirt.
The worst movie.
Every time, let me move that cup out of your shot. Every time he wears that, Simone says that's the worst Star Wars movie ever.
It was free.
Yeah, but it's Jake Eugene Evans
and
III.
it's the rise. I like it because
It's about the rise.
it's about the rise.
Rising.
You know, rise in the Hebrew is this word. I'm probably gonna jack it up, but because I always jack up Hebrew. But so I'm not even gonna say it. But it also means establish. So it means to establish or raise up,
Okay.
or to rise.
Yeah.
So when you think about like Jesus rising on the third, it's the same connotation. Like what that was a sign of how he was established, but also we were established in him.
Right.
If that never happened, if the resurrection never happened, then there's no point of the gospel.
Right. And when you think about it, he rose to the heavenly plane, which made him a skywalker, which is rise of the skywalker. Bam. Hit him with it. Hit him with it.
With knowledge.
Oh, coming in the door right
coming
now.
In the door.
He is the black guy that's late right now. He is the black Batman himself is in the building. Go ahead. Take a seat. You good. You good. Don't even worry about it. Just get on through there. Hopefully you don't. Yeah, he's coming in. He's coming in now. But it's my brother, Mr. Stan Golden. That's your mic right there, bro.
What up?
Yes, sir. Welcome.
Sorry.
Oh, let me unmute you. There you go.
Sorry I'm late.
Yeah, it's all good, man. It's all good, brother. And then last but not least, our special guest this evening, holding down the production. So everybody's got to keep it PG today. You know, keep that in mind. Keep it PG.
Mm-hmm.
And also, we got to get out of here at an early time because she got school tomorrow. It's my daughter. She's about to be 13 years old. Miss Elise Sumintra Evans.
You're gonna have a teenager, dude.
Wow.
You got to put the camera on yourself when I introduce you.
Come on. Let everybody see you.
She doesn't want to.
She doesn't want to.
She got her hands far away from
She's not even going nowhere near that switcher. She's like, no thanks. It's all right. It's all right. But no, we thank you for helping us out today, Lise. And Abuela said hi, Lisi, in the chat. But yeah, thank you guys in the chat. If you're in there right now, make sure you guys share this video and like it. And if you're watching on YouTube, if you're on Rumble, hit that subscribe button. You can follow on Rumble. Hit that I think it's called a Rumble button.
Yeah,
Is it
Rumble.
a Rumble? Hit
Yep.
the Rumble
Hit the
button
Rumble.
on Rumble,
I think
man.
it's like boxing gloves.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah. Smash that
gotcha.
Rumble button for us on all our Rumble watchers, man. Last week it was popping on Rumble.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, comment.
Yeah.
Comment.
Man, we need y'all to comment, man. We're trying to get it up, man. Make sure you guys follow us too, man. Follow, please. And if you're on,
I just said man because you said man. Like,
mang.
Mang.
If you're on Twitter, man, hit that like button, man. Hit that.
Come
Hit
on,
it.
man.
Hit it, man. YouTube, hit that notification bell.
Mom said all in the family, man.
That's right. Also, don't forget, guys. We got a Patreon if you want to support the Young Lions and be a part of this community that we've been building. You can go to our Patreon, patreon.com/youngliontv, and sign up for one of the many tiers that we have that are available to you for how deep you want to get into the pride of the Lions. And we also have the cool merch like what I'm wearing and what Moan has on his head right now. And then you can see a couple of this stuff behind us over here. There's some merch there, some mugs, some hats, t-shirts, hoodies, all kind of cool stuff. But yeah, support the cause that in any way that you can. Also, the song that was playing at the beginning of the stream is our new single from our band Jatan that just came out on April 7th. And we had some nice write-ups today. I was reading some little articles people were writing.
Somebody used that for their Instagram.
Did they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
A drawing Instagram page.
Sweet. I gotta check it out, man.
Yeah.
Gotta check it out, man. But yeah, go stream that everywhere. The song is called Release, and it is out now. Go stream that. Please help us continue to build this thing that we've been building. All independent, man. We do this all on our own, so we appreciate all of the support that you guys give us. It helps us just continue to grow this thing and do it every week. And yeah, other than that, I think that's it.
Brendan Lennon said, "Yo, Jamie."
What's up, Brendan? Brendan is
I'm like, we all here too. What's up? What's up?
Because Brendan is my my Irish soccer buddy. He got us our win this weekend, man. He made some amazing saves. I got to give him his shout outs and his credit this evening. Because this weekend, we won 1-0 at our game, and he was the goalie. He's not even a goalie.
Oh, he played goalie?
He played goalie. He stepped in because our goalie's injured. So Brendan stepped up. Brendan can't catch to save his life. So we talked about it, and we said, from now on, you punch the ball out. And that has done wonders.
Yeah, I get all the scoop from him at our sons.
Yeah, because your sons play on the same team.
Yeah, so he tells me everything that happened. And
Yeah.
He was telling me about, but I talked to you, so he was like, yeah. Figured out we just punched the ball.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, yeah, Jamie told me.
Yeah. Yeah, he said, I feel old, my body hurts. He was diving around like crazy, man. He made some great
That's
saves.
a whole different,
Brendan, I
those
feel
are
you
all
on
different
that.
body parts.
Yeah.
My body hurts too.
He said, cannot catch with the laugh emoji. Yeah. That's how you know someone's only played soccer their whole life.
Yeah, and never played goalie.
Never played goalie. He cannot catch at all. Like the little softest balls just hit his hands and fall to the ground. But shout out to Brendan, man. We've been playing together for years. That's my boy. And he's always asking how we're doing and supporting and stuff like that. So shout out to him. But yeah, and he was Ivan, your son's coach, who coaches both of y'all. He was telling me that Lucas is killing it on the team. So that's what's up.
Doing pretty good. Scored 4 goals, but it was like everybody was scoring.
He scored 4 goals
on Sunday.
Oh yeah, but you said you guys.
But
won.
everybody was scoring.
Yeah,
it was like 12-0.
Dang! Wow.
That's not even right.
But he had a nice goal. Because I was showing him like this little feint move, and we kept practicing it.
Yeah.
So he did it in the game.
Yeah.
and then he tells me, "Daddy, I did the feint move." So he faked one way with the goalie and then hit it with the outside of his foot.
Yeah.
Goal. It was a nice little goal.
That's what's
He's
up,
a
man.
natural, man.
Brendan said Lucas is ruthless. Scores and runs back to halfway line, ready for more. No celebration. Yep, that's him, boy.
Yes.
He does not show no emotions. He just get the job done. Let's go. Start again.
I will say his son, James,
James.
which is got the same name as you.
Mm-hmm. I told him that on Sunday. I said, you know, me and you have the same name, so we have to be friends.
Yeah. He's doing good. Like he's little by little progressing. You can tell every game. Like Brendan, because fathers are like, oh,
Yeah.
he's not doing this. He could be doing this. I'm like, dude,
He's never
some of
played
these
before.
kids, some of these kids, man, they've been playing since they were 3 years old.
Yeah.
So, and some of them been playing. That could be a good thing or not, because some of them been playing since they were 3 years
Yeah.
old, and they still
Not progressing.
Not progressing. So
Yeah. But speaking of soccer, I want to show this because Mo sent me this thing, or sent us this thing. Did you send us this?
Yeah, I sent y'all this.
This was very crazy to me. I don't know. Did you see the thing with the
The
robots
AI
playing
thing?
soccer?
Yeah.
no, I didn't see that.
Yo, this was pretty crazy.
It's crazy.
Lacey, see if you can bring this up. I'm gonna try to. Oh, I gotta connect the audio. Sorry.
Yeah, so this is like AI.
This is AI
And robots.
AI robots.
robots,
Yes.
but it's like intelligent learning AI.
The AI program plays thousands
So let me see if I can start this over because these Instagram videos are the worst. All right, here we go.
a soccer match at DeepMind. Looks like fun and games. Here's the thing. Humans did not program these robots to play. They learned the game by themselves.
It's coming up with these interesting different strategies, different ways to walk, different ways to block.
And they're doing it. They're scoring over and over again.
These robots taught themselves to play the game.
Wow.
They were not programmed. First of all, it wasn't even like they weren't even taught to kick the ball. They just did it.
Right.
Yeah.
Because the initial command was go score.
Score
right?
a goal.
Just score a goal.
That's the get the ball on the goal. That's what's the initial command. And then it tried all of these tactics to try to figure out the best way, and then
The
realized
soccer
that kicking the
pitch.
ball was the
The
way.
robots were told only that the object was to score. The self-learning program spent about 2 weeks testing different moves. It discarded those that didn't work, built on those that did, and created all-stars.
There's another goal.
And with practice, they get better. Hansel told us that independent from the robots, the AI program plays thousands of games from which it learns and invents its own tactics.
Here, you think that red player is going to grab it, but instead it just stops it. Hands it back, passes it back, and then goes for the goal.
And the AI figured out how to do that on its own.
That's right. That's right. And it takes a while. At first, all the players just run after the ball together like a gaggle of, 6-year-olds the first time they're.
That just reminded me of when she was saying that. I was thinking about like coaching the young kids and how like that's their. When they don't understand the game, they just think just run to the ball and try to kick it, And even the robots were doing that at first, and then, they figured out tactics and strategies.
They're playing ball. Over time, what we start to see is now, what's the strategy? You go after the ball, I'm coming around this way. Or we should pass, or I should block while you get to the goal.
Goal.
A soccer
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy,
That's
man.
crazy. In 2 weeks.
Let's keep it real. Them robots are trash. Like we would destroy them.
Yeah.
Like, they can't beat us yet. They can't beat us at soccer yet.
But I'm just saying though, like, as I'm watching this, I'm like, dude, y'all don't learn from these movies that people or these books that the people write.
Right.
Because that can get like once technology gets crazier and
Or if it's one of those what's the company that does all the like dog robot stuff? I don't know what the name is slipping my mind now.
just talking about
Boston Dynamics.
Yeah.
One of their robots.
yeah, with the guns.
You think about that video that wasn't that video fake with Ronaldinho kicking the ball at the crossbar over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
They could probably get a robot to do that for real. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Plot the coordinates.
yeah, and know exactly
Figure out
where to hit the ball
coordinates,
so that it hits that exact spot. And,
yeah. Every time.
yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. And just think about it. It'll run simulations while, the human sleeps,
Exactly.
getting rest. They're running simulations.
That's the crazy part about it because it said it took it 2 weeks
Yeah.
to learn how to play the game. Just because it's constantly running
Right.
simulations, in the background. That's something humans can't do.
I just came from soccer practice, and some of them kids.
You're like, can we get one of them robots?
Yeah.
How much are them robots?
Yeah, some of them they still not learning. So.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Yeah, it is.
Shout out to Theris. Hi, Theris.
Hey, there's.
Brendan said I seen a news article about that. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Shout out to Jess in the chat. We were just talking about Love is Blind before the stream went live. And
Yeah, we got to meet her this
we got to meet her.
this weekend at my house.
Yeah. Birthday party for Jacob.
A surprise. I thought it was just going to be
Yeah.
a small family.
I thought it was going to be. It was supposed to be just our sisters. Well, her sisters and brother, and my brothers.
That's already a lot of people.
And then our parents.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's already a lot. So then one thing leads to another, and people start texting, "Oh, you doing something?
Yeah.
Can I
Yeah.
come?"
Yeah.
People
And then
just invite
Simone was like, "Oh, just." I was like, he said she was gonna be here, so I was like, all right, bring her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But I have to
when
say-
she walked in though, she was like,
I know.
she was probably like, "Dang, I thought this was."
Well, that's what I want to make a point to say. It says a lot about somebody who can walk into that environment and not be intimidated and not be awkward. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And kind of just go with the flow
Right.
and actually mix it up and mingle with people. Like that says a lot.
Yeah.
So just wanted to put that out
And
there.
I was saying to Jamie, I was like, because I left her.
Yeah, he did,
She
sure
just-
did. But that's how you know. That's a good sign.
Mm-hmm.
Brendan said we're looking at using those robots in the future to fill our coolers at work. Yeah, I bet, and probably do the gas too, right? Right,
That'd be nice. That's
dude. They're
Yeah,
all.
don't do it.
McDonald's has a couple fully automated stores now.
Yeah.
And I know Walmart is investing billions of dollars in technology to eliminate a bunch of workers. They're going to do all automation and robots and stuff like that.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. You know what? I don't even know. I was gonna say I don't think people want stuff like that, but there's a lot of
I
people
always-
that just don't care.
I know, like they already got rid of, especially in Walmart, because I go grocery shopping in Walmart. They already got rid of like all the clerks, There's-
Cashiers.
Yeah, the cashiers.
Yeah.
There's only probably 2 lines at the most.
Yeah.
Like
If
a
you're
real
lucky.
line.
Yeah.
Because I hate scanning the.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess you call me old school.
But they're all doing that. They're opening up more and more self checkout. Wawa has self checkout now.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
get annoying, man.
Yeah.
With the whole put the product in the bag.
Yeah.
On the back side.
Yeah.
Right.
And then you gotta wait. And then the error's out. Yeah. Just put a person back there
Yeah, you're just losing.
that hates their job.
That's
Yeah.
That's- takes the jobs away from a real human.
That's usually
And you're losing that contact with people.
Yeah.
Where like how was your day? Sometimes
And it incentivizes stealing too.
it does.
Yeah.
Dude, stealing has gone up because people are like, trying to get over. I know Walmart had a thing where
Oh yeah, who's telling you? I think you were telling
Yeah.
me about that.
they switched up. Like you're like, hold up, we're losing too much inventory.
Shout out to Steve in the chat. He said, in my industry, they're going to send the wheelchair chairs to X-ray, and I won't even have to take them. Where they going to be all like robot, like GPS wheelchairs that just take
I just see the
the
accident.
wheelchair. Yo, but think about it,
Or
like
nobody would ever get there.
no, because remember at the dumpling spot, the little robot that came and
Yeah.
brought the birthday cake and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it goes around people. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
and it doesn't crash into nobody.
It
And then it
takes
just
a little-
stays right there.
This in Sam's Club, they have the one that cleans.
Yeah,
That
yeah, they
robot
do.
that cleans.
And if you get in its way, it'll stop,
stop,
and wait
yeah.
for you. Yeah, yeah.
But I could imagine that, like in Steve's situation, all of them bunch up together, like, and then nobody gets anywhere.
Traffic jam. yeah,
The patient never shows
yeah.
up.
Patients are like, Like they need desperate care. Like where did they? Our patient's lost. It's in the basement somewhere. The chair that went the wrong place. Somebody put in the wrong coordinates. Yeah, I could see there being some big disasters with that. They ain't ready for that yet. They still need you, Steve. Don't worry, Steve. They still need you. You're still the king of the dishwashers. That's what Steve.
That's his line.
That's what his line he always says.
King of the dishwasher.
He said it becomes a slippery slope real quick. Dara said customer service. Yeah, customer service is out the door. Hold on, let me see if I can find this Walmart in no, it's a Target. Target in San Francisco. Did you guys see this?
I was gonna say Cali. Didn't they close a bunch?
Yes, they closed a bunch.
People are
Especially
just
in
stealing.
San Fran and,
Oh, here it is. Yep, found it.
These laws.
Look at this. This is their answer to the theft problem.
yeah.
Literally every single aisle is behind glass.
Oh,
Wow.
Everything.
yo.
So what you gotta get? You gotta get people to open it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
If you want something, you have to get it from.
The
You have to
manager.
get an employee to come unlock it. Because theft is so bad. Like people just walk in with trash bags and just fill them up and leave.
It's just
Like that's what happens when
Examples of dumb behind laws.
legislation.
Yeah,
That's what happens when
policies
you
matter.
incentivize crime. You know, like they don't even get prosecuted if it's less than $1,000.
yeah.
That doesn't make any sense.
And
Does-
you lose your morals. Like
Yeah.
why you just
Doesn't
gonna
it seem
take
like
stuff?
it's where everything is becoming more and more selfish?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, like it on one end it's like, well, there's like these fake laws that are gonna help people, but you're actually just a lot of these laws are not really helping people. They're actually just enabling people to stay
Where they're at.
Yeah.
lazy,
Yeah.
to stay childish.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So then they're going out there and doing this stuff. Now people become selfish because they're being dealt with. Like they're victims of selfishness. And when you're a victim of something, you fall under that same thing. So now you're trying to keep your stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're trying to take your stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's easy to be like, well, they're getting away with it, so I might as well go ahead and do it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brendan said Drexel store is going to be kiosk ordering only, and employees will be getting product from behind the wall and handing after paying. Wow. Yeah.
Hey, if that's. Dara said shop online.
Yeah. That's man's way, not God. Dara said exactly.
Yeah.
And it's it's a greed. It's a greed thing. Speaking of AI, though, I wanted to show you guys this. People been sending this AI generated commercial around.
Oh, with the
pizza commercial. Did you see it?
oh no, I seen the response to Biden's announcement.
Yeah, I saw that. But this is like a full on just AI generated commercial. Pull this up, Lise, please.
Are you ready for best pizza of life? Bring friends down to Pepperoni Hug Spot. Our chefs make pizza with heart and
What
special
is
touch.
this?
Cheese, pepperoni, vegetable, and more secret things.
More
Need
secret
delivery?
things.
Pizzas come fast. Knock, knock. Who's there? Pizza magic. Eat Pepperoni Hug Spot pizza. Your
Yo,
tummy
it's so
without saying,
creepy. Yo, what is
Pepperoni Hug Spot. It's like family, but with more cheese.
pepperoni hug spot?
So even the actors
like
were AI.
Everything is AI. The voiceover,
Whoa.
the script, everything. So it's all just AI generated. That's why it's like kind of nonsense, glitchy. It looks weird. Like it looks kind of creepy.
It's like they're trying to show somebody eating, but they don't really
They don't know-
understand it.
Yeah, all of the hands
Pizza
suck.
with
Like look,
heart and special
Look
like
at the pizza.
you know how AI can never do hands.
They can never do hands.
Look at the hand. Look at the fingers.
You can't
Look
see.
at the
Oh,
teeth.
there it is.
Look at the girl's teeth and the fingers. Look at his face. Look at his chin.
Yeah,
look at her
cheek.
chin. Yeah, like
What is that?
Yeah,
he's supposed to be like
flipping it.
flipping dough, but also
He's
it's
cooking
steaming from his arm. Like what?
His arm is cooking the pizza.
That's the pizza cooking, that it's on top
On
of
top
the
of
bread. There's a pizza under it. And then what is that? What is that?
It looks like lasagna.
It's like pouring cheese.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Oh, the vegetables.
The vegetables.
The
What is
vegetables.
that? What kind of vegetables?
It looks like
are
a
those?
half watermelon, half cabbage, and then like some berries, but like they look like crunch berries, like real life crunch berries. Yeah. Yeah, what is
that
that?
their
There
What
said
is-
more cheese, please.
What?
Yeah,
what is that?
I don't understand that at all.
But when you think about like the AI generator, look at this guy.
It looks like he's doing
Yeah.
what's it called? When you
Need
go in a
delivery.
circle.
When you go in a circle.
Yeah, in the car. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh, spin out or
Oh,
Donut.
donut.
yeah, donut.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't look like
Yeah.
he's doing
What is he holding? What is
the
that?
laundry.
Look how his arm goes through the wall.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, that's creepy. That is
that
creepy.
Steve
Yeah.
said, "I'm pretty sure Walmart lost $4 million in theft last year."
Yeah, but that's why they're investing so much money into automation. They're actually firing a ton of staff because they realize it's cheaper to invest in the automation, keep the good employees. See that, and that's another thing about policies that don't work, because when you force people to just raise minimum wage, and you say this is gonna fix everything, raise minimum wage and force these companies to pay people more money.
Pay their fair share.
So what companies are going, especially a company like Walmart, is like, all right, so do we want to pay a bunch of slackers more money, or do we want to fire all of them, keep the people that actually work, and then automate all the other people's jobs? We can then do that, and then 20 years from now, we'll be making even more profit. You know, because they're playing a longer game than your half-sided raise minimum wage argument. That never works, you know. So all it ends up hurting is the working people.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is that the point?
Yeah, it is. Because then you'll beg for what's that income? Guaranteed income.
Universal basic income.
Basic income.
Which we just had an experiment with that over the last couple of years. That proved to be a terrible idea.
Doesn't work. You're gonna run out of somebody's money.
Yeah.
People need purpose.
Yeah, they do. And giving them just money to sit around is not going to give them purpose.
and tell them they're not essential.
Yeah. And all it's going to do is devalue the money that they're getting anyway. So then you're going to be giving out a bunch of money that's worthless to people. And we just continue to spiral.
Until they introduce you to the digital dollar. Then they can just send it to you and send it off when they want.
Right.
Brendan works for Wawa, right?
Yeah, he works for a while.
So he says we have AI for our bean to catch coffee that we are testing. Machines brews the amount of coffee needed at the time of day based on usage and gets smarter and smarter each day.
Yeah.
Imagine that thing coming up to you. You're like, you spilled some coffee.
But things like that only make sense, because think about it. Like, if you have, it's like, think about Taco Bell, for example. Like, I was thinking about this the other day because I remember they used to get on us about this. Like, if you put too much meat in the taco, they get mad at you,
Right.
because there's only supposed to be a certain amount per customer, because all of their profits are based off of an ounceage per customer. And if the employee is given a little bit too much, then it ruins those profits. If you can do that through AI, it's going to be the same exact amount every time.
Yep.
No room for error. You know what I mean?
Saves them money.
So it saves them that little bit of money.
Because my tacos used to be fat, baby boy.
I know. Mo used to hook them up.
Baby boy.
I mean, I still do that trick where, when I get my Mexican pizza, I ask for no beans
Oh, yeah.
so that they put more meat in it. You know what I mean? Right, Lee? That's how
Not if
likes
AI 's
She likes
making
it
it.
like that. What is the AI going to do if you ask
Just
for?
say
It's going to be
no.
one little right. It's just
gonna
going to
be
that.
dry
It's going to
fried
be a
tortilla.
dry Mexican pizza with one little scoop of meat in the middle. Yeah. No thanks. AI, man. But speaking of losing money, so we said Walmart. He said Walmart lost
$4 million.
$4 million.
on theft.
I just heard that Fox News just lost what, 7 billion or something like that.
Almost a billion.
Almost a billion.
Yeah,
almost
it
a
was
billion.
like
Okay,
700 and something.
that's
million.
what it was. Yeah, 700 something million after they announced, because corporate news is in a spiral right now.
Well, they also lost money on the settlement.
Yeah.
That's what
so
the 700
the 700
million,
million was from the settlement, but
Yeah.
they lost
A billion.
another large sum of money
Yeah,
in stocks.
Yes.
After the news of Tucker Carlson's firing happened,
Yeah.
which came out of nowhere, which was crazy news.
Why would they fire their most watched? He gets like 5 million people watching.
He's not the most watched.
Who's the most watched?
On Fox he is.
On Fox he
No,
is.
not on Fox. He's not. It's the dude that's got the night show.
Oh, Greg
yeah.
Gutfeld?
Gutfeld? No, not
Nah.
more than Tucker, bro.
Tucker's
is-
Tucker.
biggest.
Tucker will have 5 million people watching.
I
Tu-
just saw it.
Tucker is the highest watched.
Maybe that's the.
He's the highest
Night
watched late night show.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's beat out like Kimmel and all of them, but no, Tucker is the most watched
On the network.
on the net on
Yeah.
any network, on cable period, cable news.
Yeah, Gutfeld is he's competing with the night shows
Yeah,
and
Yeah.
smashing them.
but I think it has to do with the fact that there's a lot of politics at play, and someone posted up this little thing, which seems like a little gem to think about. Post this up at least. So BlackRock owns 59 million shares of Dominion, which was the lawsuit that just happened.
That they just settled. Fox
Right.
just settled.
BlackRock also owns 45.7 million shares of Fox. So BlackRock sued itself and fired Tucker Carlson as part of that lawsuit.
Figured it out yet?
You know what I'm saying? And Tucker has definitely spoken out against them a lot. You know what I mean? When he talks about these corporate investment firms, and he talked about BlackRock before. You know, he talked about the Dominion voting thing.
Yeah. That's
whole-
what they say got him in trouble was even that they were, Bill O'Reilly was saying that they could afford the settlement and stuff, but it's upcoming lawsuits that has to do with him and some
Misogyny or something going on.
Something happened internally.
Yeah.
Okay, so
You-
it was
you're-
the 5. That's what it was. The 5. I knew it was something.
What the 5 what?
That was the number one.
The number one what?
Number one watch show. The 5.
Oh, on Fox?
Yeah. I guess like even in terms of like the dominating shows they're all on Fox. Mm-hmm. It says the 5 number one with it's not crazy. It's not a whole lot more, but with 3.42 million. Tucker Carlson 3.3 million. Jesse Waters
Yeah.
2.86, and then Hannity.
I mean, my whole thing is, I don't watch Fox News.
Me neither.
I really never even watched Tucker's show. I just would see the clips, like when people would post them. I just don't watch cable news, period.
Yeah.
But
Me neither.
do y'all think that this is gonna? Well, we see they already lost. Let me look up exactly how much money they
all
lost.
that. And then the subscribers.
Yeah,
a
and
lot
then
of people
the Fox
subscribe
Nation
just 'cause
subscribe.
of-
They lost
yeah.
a bunch of subscribers.
He was the reason why a lot of them did it.
Yeah, but yeah, do you think Fox is in trouble?
I mean, the kids, according to reports, his kids hate the network. So,
Right.
Murdoch's kids.
Well, I think didn't something happen where one of the sons is married to a really left-leaning woman who's very progressive. I just saw something that said, it's about $1 billion that Fox lost in market share since that.
Steve said, did he quit? I mean, did he get fired or did he quit?
He got fired.
Well, that's what they say. It's reporting both ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it wasn't like the other guy on TNN.
Yeah, Don Lemon got fired as well.
He definitely got fired.
He got fired.
There's no controversy.
But
about
he's been on his way out. I feel like they were just hanging on to him.
Yeah.
I mean, he lost his show. They put him in the morning show with those two other women. He constantly was having problems with them. We showed some clips of that on here.
Yeah.
He just got into like an emotional. Did y'all see that clip
With Vivek Ramaswamy?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Ramaswamy.
Yeah.
He got so emotional.
Yeah, he did. And then the funny thing was, he was like, "Whatever." What did he say? Whatever race you are.
That you're gonna tell me.
That was funny.
Calm down.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Eventually, that's one thing. Somebody was speaking about that. It's harder to hide nowadays, like in terms of your image, like off screen.
Yeah.
It's harder to hide who you are, like because people used to be good at that in the past. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh yeah.
oh, he's an a-hole behind scene. Like he's in real
Yo,
life. You know?
so many people have talked about how his diva actions on set, like not wanting to come to production meetings, not being hard to work with the staff.
Yeah.
But you see it in that clip with Vivek. They're saying something to him in his ear, and he's like, I can't finish a thought if you keep talking to me in my ear. Like he says that.
I thought you were talking about Steven Crowder for a second.
What? What do you mean? I'm confused.
Because you know that you haven't seen the clip of the other comedian. That's not on the
Dave
show.
Landau.
He
Yeah,
came out
yeah,
and said
yeah.
something like
Yeah, I mean,
all
I
his
didn't see that.
controversy
What'd he
that's coming
say?
out. I was trying to make a joke, but it just blew over.
Because it was so left field. It was so from the left.
I wasn't
field.
funny.
But you're right though. Like that's another. Like,
I wanted to watch
all
that.
of these weird shakeups are happening in news and like all of these. I just saw Nate Silver at ABC just got fired. Like all of these people are losing it. I think there's a huge I think this corporate news thing is dying.
Yeah.
They're trying to hold it on, like, because even with Tucker, like Tucker was definitely the number one show in the key demo.
Yeah.
As far as like 18 to 35 viewers.
Yeah.
He was definitely number one in that area.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think we're in a time of a lot of change,
Yeah.
and I think we're in a time of a lot of opportunity. But are we gonna grab that opportunity? Because people are always gonna take up the space that's left. Who's gonna take it? And I think that's where the church drops the ball a lot of times, because again, news has not been around forever in this way.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Right.
You know, but then when people get so used to it, they're like, oh my gosh, this is crazy.
Yeah,
But
well, I think
could
that's
go away.
when you look at the history of corporatized news, like when CNN first started, it was like, we have to provide news 24/7,
Right.
because news used to be just from 6 to, that 1 hour. It was like you watching the news at 6.
Yeah.
Tonight, and they would give you the stories from the day, and then that's it. Now you're back to your regularly scheduled program, Dallas or whatever the heck's coming on. But then when like they started cable news, and it was like you could watch for 24 hours of the day, then they had to that's why they started inventing those stories, like that clip we always show. Matter of fact, I'm gonna play that for those that don't see it. Brendan says, didn't it have to do with the election statements that they were making around the machines? That's what some people are saying. It had to do with
That was for
The
Tucker.
Dominion.
Tucker. Yeah.
Lawsuit, yeah.
He said Murdoch settled. Social media sees it all now.
It might have to do with that. That maybe that they might be trying to save face by letting him go. But
Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't the only one though that pushed Dominion. Or
Yeah.
pushed against Dominion. They said that they ran into trouble because they didn't have any opposing views on it. Like all they had to have was one, even as a host, like push back on that Dominion was responsible for it. But
Right.
because they didn't have another side of it, have the other side of it, that's how they consume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's kind of interesting that you can sue a journalist who just asks questions and brings up something that, like, these are questions that people have, not making a definitive statement either way. It's just
Yeah.
like, because, Tucker's always snarky, like, why don't we know about this? You know, like, oh, we not allowed to ask these questions? Like, that's what he says. It's not like he made like definitive statements. Dude, is this stuff gone? I can't find it.
Probably, bro.
Scrubbed off.
Dude, how many times have we played that on this podcast?
Yeah.
Plenty.
What are you looking for?
That clip from them
1980?
pretending. No, it was in the 90s when they were
90s.
pretending to be in Desert Storm.
Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Tucker will be straight. Like he can
Yeah, he can go anywhere.
do his podcast or
start
maybe
his
it's
own
go
thing.
on Rumble.
Here we go.
Don Limon, on the other hand, what's he gonna do?
So for those of you
Maybe
who
NBC.
don't understand what having a 24-hour news cycle means and how like these companies will literally make stuff up, this is from in the 1990s during the Gulf War. Let's play this a little bit.
We want to roll the video right before he was supposed to go on the air, and you'll see what happened as he was preparing to do a live report to us back here in Atlanta. Can we roll that now?
Hey, could somebody please put that... Ah! Jesus Christ! Wow! CNN's Carl Rochelle is here with me. He just came up. Carl, I know we can't be very specific given these restrictions. But,
First of all, that's supposed to be Kuwait. They like got a fake like little palm tree in the back.
Well, what I saw, I didn't see anything hit. I looked almost straight above us, and there's a vapor trail coming from my right to my left, and there's a cloud of something. It looks like it might have been an explosion, a cloud. I'd say...
I love this. He puts on the gas mask. He puts on the helmet and ducks down. There's a palm tree next to a regular kind of bush.
He comes
this
up
with
the old school comedy.
My apologies for that. He's putting on a gas mask. There hasn't been any gas dropped here. We can tell. You smell anything? No. You may smell some of the fumes from a missile exhaust going off. The missiles use a rocket accordite, some sort of burning.
So what you're telling me is they've been faking it all along.
They know this is
It's
stupid.
been fake news
As they're doing
all
it, they
along.
know it's stupid.
Yeah, like come on, like yeah. I just
Hold up.
like
Doesn't this show like something at the end? It's like super fake.
I don't think
Don't
so.
they zoom out at one point?
I don't know if they do it in this clip.
Yeah, there's another clip
The
where
one-
they show.
Yeah. But yeah, for those that don't know, like this is
It's on.
I think this one might be the one where you're talking about.
Now, again, as we said, we're not sure what caused this. It could possibly, and we emphasize possibly, have been a ground impact of a scud. It could have been a ground impact of
This
a
time they got the
patriot, or it
fans
could have
blowing
been
to get the
result of
palm tree.
debris falling between the two of them. We just don't know right now, but we do
I love
know
this blue,
that at
like
least
that's
two
supposed to
Scud
be the
missiles
sky.
incoming were fired at Riyadh, according to the
Looks
Saudi
terrible.
military. They were both shot
I love how
down.
you can hear the
Charles
fans.
Jacobs,
Yeah.
reporting live from Saudi Arabia.
Reporting live from Saudi Arabia. Dude, you're literally in a studio right now. Like
You in San Fran.
Where is he now?
Yeah, I think they zoom out.
yeah,
Was almost exactly 2 hours ago in the...
I don't know.
Look at this. Look at this.
Oh
Look at
yeah,
this.
yeah, yeah.
The top 10 things about Saudi Arabia. Maybe we could shorten the list to 5. Oh, God. Geopolitics.
Look at this.
There's the set.
Look, there's this. Yeah, so it's you know they will do things to make a story, to get people's eyeballs to watch. They need ratings. They need to sell advertising dollars. Like we used to say, like me and Steve say this all the time. They got to sell diapers, man. They got to sell cleaning products. They got to sell washing machines. So they're gonna lie about stuff. They're gonna make stuff up. But yeah, that is the good old CNN fake news. Did y'all see that Fauci admitted that the mask thing didn't work? I found this New York Times article, but now they're trying to make me pay for it. So Yeah, not gonna bring that up.
He admitted to it.
Yeah, he admitted that the mask things didn't work. So did y'all see the speech that Tucker gave over the weekend though?
The heritage speech?
Yeah, the heritage speech. Did you see it?
I saw some of it.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying that might have something to do with it as well, with the things he was saying there. I don't know.
And then in the deposition, some emails or something came out, or conversations that he was having with people, and probably went along with that heritage speech.
Yeah,
talking about them, talking about like Murdoch himself.
Right.
Mentioning them.
Yeah, probably mentioning them by name.
Yeah.
You're fired.
Yeah. So it's crazy. Shake up at CNN.
But they fired Beck.
Yeah, they fired
at his prime.
Yeah.
They fired O'Reilly.
They just fired Dan Bongino. Yeah.
Oh, they fired him?
Yeah.
Yeah, they got rid of Bongino too.
Yep.
Megan Kelly.
Yep.
Yeah, Megan Kelly.
Oh yeah,
they
I forgot
fired.
about it.
Yep.
So they've always been.
Who's going to be? You think they're going to hire Don Lemon next to go over there?
Maybe
give him a
it's up
show.
to the kids.
Ain't hiring Don Lemon.
No. I said maybe MSNBC.
He's gonna have a problem trying to get a job. I think.
You think so?
I think so. If he finds a job, he might end up at Young Turks.
Nah.
They don't want him.
Cenk Uyghur thinks that Tucker is about to run for president. That's why he left.
Nah.
He thinks he got fired on purpose so he can run for president. Yeah.
That dude's making a lot of money.
Yeah.
Over there.
But he's actually not the highest paid, which is weird.
Really?
I think Hannity is the highest paid over at Fox, which is interesting because he, has been holding that number one primetime slot for a while and gets the key demo, which is important because if all of your audience is old,
like Hannity.
Yeah, and all of CNN, MSNBC, they have millennials and young millennials and Gen Zs don't watch the news at all. They get everything from Twitter or TikTok or YouTube.
Sure.
It sucks because where they're getting their news from.
Yeah,
and I'm going to bring that up in some of our videos because they just you can see how they'll just regurgitate something that they heard or they've seen and they just go run with it.
Yeah.
So in a way it's worse for millennials because of the way they consume.
Yeah.
They don't really
the algorithm feeds their whatever idea they already have.
Right. And then they're not like, all right, well,
let me see what
that sounds crazy.
Yeah.
But let me see how is this really that before I go and because they just run with stuff. They won't even check or anything. They just they're horrible. And
right. Yeah. Steve wrote on YouTube, the part of the show would be in the montage of the movie that shows the robots taking over the world. Oh, I don't know what that refers to, Steve.
Maybe
You're jumping from platform to platform, buddy. I don't know.
iRobot.
Maybe I was gonna say maybe that was from when you were playing the soccer clips.
Oh, okay.
Robot soccer.
Oh, that's probably why he jumped on Facebook. He's like, they're not answering me. Yeah. So let's get into some of the stuff that you had, Jake, so we can get into the. So you want to play the clip? Which one do you want to play first? I don't remember.
One that's 2 minutes, 2:22.
It's the one with the pastor.
Yeah.
Quote unquote.
Yeah.
Air quote pastor.
Definitely need to put air quotes around that.
So set this up for us so we know what we're watching.
All right, so she's basically talking on I don't know what she's called. I'm not trying to mispronoun her or anything.
Well, just say in your opinion. She.
I'm trying to mispronoun they.
So this channel, this tag is woke preacher clips.
Yes,
woke preacher TV. I gotta follow them. Yes. I gotta follow them, man.
On Twitter.
Yeah.
So basically, she's talking about. She goes into what happened with the shooter.
Okay.
right?
Calling her she
in Nashville.
In her own way.
Right.
So we can just go with the
they
flow.
Still won't release that.
She, her.
Ain't
Look,
that crazy?
She, her.
Yeah.
They still don't want to release that
The
manifesto.
FBI won't let it out.
Why do you think?
Not good. No, it's a no good.
It's not good for the agenda.
Yeah.
Not good
FBI,
for
man.
for the optics.
Yeah.
But
right.
and it's interesting because like when you listen to her, she's actually like that kind of idea. The way she's talking is dangerous because everybody listens to her. Like this is what we were just talking about, where these millennials they just go and they hear these things and they just run off.
Yeah.
Like this is the dangerous place that I think we're in. That I think we need to pray because this stuff can go left real quick, you know, if we don't pay attention to it.
Recording of Jesus' journey to the cross, the author makes a point of saying that the chief priests and the whole council were looking for false testimony against Jesus so that they might put him to death. Those leaders were looking for any...
Let's just follow this.
Yeah.
She's talking about that they're looking for false witnesses, right? As the Bible says, your witness is established by 2 or 3, right? So, or your testimony. So they're trying to find people who are going to testify against Jesus, to put him to death,
right?
So she's trying to put this person in that place of Jesus.
Trying to put what?
The shooter.
The shooter.
The shooter. Now let's keep...
Okay.
Excuse, valid or not, to crucify Jesus. And they found that reason. And that reason was solidified when the crowd shouted to release Barabbas. They had their final excuse. They would kill the one whose reputation as a teacher and healer and whose mission of love and dignity was so very threatening to their own reputation that they needed to kill him in order to preserve their good image. It's back.
Bro, like, this is just, my stomach hurts listening to this.
But how can you do those gymnastics?
Those gymnastics are crazy.
And she's about to say, it's baffling to me.
It's baffling
It's
to
baffling
you.
to her.
It's baffling to me that you're trying to compare someone who was clearly mentally ill and goes and kills children.
Right.
So they had to kill her. Like,
So Jesus was out here healing everybody, casting out demons, making the blind see, the paralyzed people walk again, curing leprosy, all this stuff, and teaching people life-changing things. You're comparing that to someone who was mentally ill,
but let's not
depressed.
forget he was telling the truth and they were getting offended.
Right.
Let's not forget that, because that's the part they always leave out.
Telling the truth and they didn't like it.
Right.
And calling them out.
Right.
And at least knows about this because we've been watching The Chosen.
Nice.
And she always asks me like why those guys are always why they're always trying to find something, like trying to find something on Jesus. The dudes in the black. You remember them, Lise?
The Pharisees.
Yeah. In the show? Okay. Yeah, well, anyway.
Yeah.
You think about like the woman, the Sidonian woman who Jesus calls a puppy.
Yeah.
Right? And he says that he came for the children of Israel and the food is for the children of Israel, not the dogs.
Mm-hmm.
So he's telling this woman, and he's being offensive.
Right.
But on purpose.
Right.
And she goes with it. And she's like,
but even
she
the dogs,
even the dogs, but she like, and that's the only person that she ever says. He's basically says like, I haven't seen greater faith.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Not even a Jew.
Yeah.
So he challenged her, right?
Yeah.
And she didn't get offended. She pressed in because she saw that what he had was greater than the offense. And I think that's what we got. Like, people want it on their terms, right? You want healing on your terms. You want whatever. You want love on your terms, right?
Yeah.
That's why we're so selfish. because we want everything the way we want it. That's why divorce is so high, because we want everything the way we want it. And me and Mom were just talking about this, like, you know, you have Judas. Judas wanted it. He wanted the Messiah the way he wanted it. Then when he realized that wasn't going to happen, he turned on Jesus. Right? Look how quick you can turn on somebody.
Yeah.
Right? And how many marriages your wife or your husband turns on you because it wasn't the way they wanted it. You know, and then we say, oh, but I went into it with the purest of intentions. No, you went into it with the pureness of the intentions in your own eyes, in your own heart. But that's not the standard of God, right? And I think that's what Jesus came to do. Like, this is the standard. This is truth. And it offends people because they want their own standard.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying all this because this is what we're dealing with. We're dealing with such a depravity that everybody's so selfish that they want to see it the way they see it in their own heart, and they call that purity, which is crazy. But that's why I said, man, it's bad.
That someone's existence can be so threatening that people decide they need to be controlled, that they need to have laws made against them, or even worse, that the people that they find to be so threatening should die. There are a significant number of people who have deemed that the fact that the Nashville shooter happened to be a trans person, so it's been reported.
What's crazy to me is that...
So it's been reported.
Right. No, what's crazy to me is that she's doesn't even realize that she's talking about it in the opposite of what it actually was. Because what she's accusing, you know, whoever that she's trying to accuse is exactly what this shooter did.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
Let me go back to this part right
The
here.
fact that the Nashville shooter happened to be a trans person, that they need to have laws made against them, or even worse, that the people that they find to be so threatening should die.
The people that they find so threatening should die. So the people that you think are a threat to you, you go and kill them.
Well, she's saying that's what people are doing.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's the opposite.
That's what the shooter did.
Right.
And that's what these people are doing. They're saying they're a threat to the way I want to live.
Right.
But little kids,
and
though.
they're under attack.
Little kids, though.
What do these kids have to do with the struggle that you're going through, or what you feel like the rights people are taking away from you? What do these kids have to
First
do
of
with
all, you got to have every right.
Yeah.
What right don't you have?
The rights.
The same thing I just said
we were
earlier.
we were just talking about that.
Yeah.
And then where are you under attack at?
They feel like they don't have rights, you know, because they can't go into the bathroom.
Because that's not.
They don't want that.
People
that they
have
choose.
people have turned things into rights that aren't rights.
Right. Exactly.
They want privileges.
That's like if your kid is talking about, it's not fair. I can't do anything in this house.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you're not saying correctly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you might get kicked out the house.
Yeah.
So
Or
if you keep going with those emotions, something bad is going to happen. Check yourself. And that's what's happening. These people, they're not checking themselves.
They don't have it checked.
And you see, they start lashing out. And that's why I'm saying that we have to pray. Like, we have to know. Personally, I believe we're at war. But
spiritually.
I was just going to say, but I'm not saying physically.
Yeah.
I'm saying spiritually or ideology.
Yeah.
Right? It's a war of ideas and things. Think about it, like these ideologies have to be practiced.
Right.
There's something in the Bible that says wisdom is vindicated by her children or her deeds. So wisdom is the application of knowledge. How much are they saying, like, where are they getting this knowledge from? College.
Yeah.
Right? Gender studies. They made up knowledge, but the problem is you got to put it into practice. See, that's where the wisdom comes in. As you put it into practice, you see how it don't work.
Yeah.
You see how it doesn't work.
And that's
right?
what we're seeing. That's what we're seeing across the board with all of these crazy botched surgeries, these people trying to detransition now. A lot of this this, the suicide rate is ridiculous.
Right. But what I'm saying is that, is it more wise to listen to wisdom or to try to figure out some knowledge that you think sounds good because it feels good to you to do these things and then work it out and then realize that you could die, that you cause yourself a lot of harm, that sounds like foolishness to me, right?
Yeah.
So you're gonna learn the really, really hard way, or you just listen to somebody that actually cares about you and might know a little bit more than you, but like spoiled kids.
I was just gonna say, I'm just thinking about a child, that you're trying to discipline, but they're not listening.
Yeah,
but they're gonna have to learn the hard way.
Yeah, I mean, eventually you kick those kids out the house, right? Mm-hmm. If they can't live under your roof, like, you love them, but you have rules in your house. Mm-hmm. You have to, like.
Are you saying kick all transgender out the country?
That's not what I'm saying.
Then they would be under attack.
That's not what I'm saying at all. Anyway, let's just keep going.
Hold on. I'm going to show you the example of one of the reasons why we don't have that standard is because we have parents like this. Bring this up, Lise.
How I keep my gamer son hydrated. So my son's so fussy and doesn't like the taste of plain water, we found another solution, water cooler and Prime. Prime's really hard to come by in Australia, so with the help of the retail correction, we've got a huge supply and he is loving it. With the school holidays, he doesn't even have to go out of his room to get a drink. School holiday fun.
Wow. Wow.
That's fake.
It's not fake. It's not fake. She's literally she literally unpacked the water cooler. Literally did it.
Yeah, she did
Filled it with
she
Prime.
Did it, yes.
A case of Prime.
But is she doing it to, go viral?
So did she give him that whole gamer setup to go viral?
He didn't pay for that.
That is a real gamer set.
I mean, that dude probably sits there for she doesn't even want him to have to get up to get a drink.
See, this is where the I don't want my food to touch.
Yeah, right.
Crowd comes from.
But this is what I'm saying. So you're talking about if a kid doesn't want to live by the rules, you kick them out the house. You still love them. But we have a bunch of parents now. We have a society now where they think I have to do everything for them in order for them to know that I love them.
Snowplow.
But you raise spoiled brats.
Yeah.
They never know how to be men or women.
And then you get people that want you to capitulate to every single feeling and whim that they have.
Because that's what they've been getting their whole life.
Exactly.
And if not, they'll force you to do it.
Right.
Like right now. They're forcing.
Yep. And they're now starting to speak out, with calls to violence if they don't get what they want.
Mm-hmm. Crazy.
Which I think is probably just my opinion and my speculation might be some of the language in that manifesto that they don't want to let out, But yeah, let's play this. Let's get back to this.
There are a significant number of people who have deemed that the fact that the Nashville shooter happened to be a trans person, so it's been reported, is just the excuse they need to call for the eradication of trans folks.
Who's calling for the eradication?
Yeah.
Of these folks? Who's calling for this eradication? Yeah. Like, who, where are these people? I need a quote.
College students are often uninformed. That's why they're in college. They're supposed to get educated. But it seems they all had the same reason for hating me specifically.
For the good of society, and especially for the good of the poor people who have fallen prey to this confusion, transgenderism must be eradicated from public life entirely.
I have seen some of his comments about the trans community specifically,
saying that trans people should be eradicated from our communities.
You shouldn't be saying that they should be eradicated if you have never been in their shoes. Can I just tell you, we're not going to fucking eradicate anyone. You guys.
You're so mad.
I don't want to eradicate anybody either.
He does.
Now, where could they have gotten that idea?
Numerous headlines after this speech said he wants to get rid of transgender people.
Basically just calling for the eradication of trans people.
Literally calling for a genocide.
Genocidal call. What else could you possibly mean?
And they've been running with that like crazy. Transgenocide every time you turn around.
Besides getting rid of those people.
Now, that was all news to me. I never considered myself a particularly genocidal kind of guy, but that's what the news said. Almost as if the entire liberal establishment had been intentionally lying about what I said.
In their recording of Jesus' journey to the...
Okay.
So, it's interesting, right?
Yeah. I've seen that. Yeah, Michael knows.
Yeah.
He was talking about the ideology of transgenderism and the push on the public needs to be eradicated.
But it's like when you have a fight with when kids fight, and then they're like, and
they take the one thing.
Yeah. When you even hear, like, sometimes my kids will be arguing and they'll be going back and forth, and I let them.
Yeah.
Right, until I have to like come in,
step in,
and then I hear how they like
twist.
You said this and you said that, and it's like, hold up, you're taking that and making it something that it really isn't.
Yeah,
because they want to win,
right?
I mean, I don't take it that far, like, and twist it that far, but kids do this because we're inherently wicked.
Yeah,
like we're born into sin, right? So. It's not like I'm looking at my kids like, oh my gosh.
Right.
No, that's what they were born into. We're all born that way, right?
They're going to use devious means to try to be the victor.
Yeah.
Get on the good side.
Only thing you can do is discipline yourself to not act that way. But you'll never change.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You'll never... All you can cut off, like we said, you can cut off all the fruit and look nice, but that fruit's going to grow back. If it's bad fruit, that bad fruit's going to grow back.
Yep.
You have to change the tree. That's why you get born again. When you receive a new life, now you're in Christ. You can see things differently.
Yeah.
But that takes time. Our spirits are with Jesus. Our spirits are in Christ, but our soul's not. Our mind, our hearts are not.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to consciously make an effort for that to happen, to be with Jesus, right?
Yeah.
So in that, now that's what we discipline. We discipline that. And we focus on the Lord. So we get to know him. And then as that becomes conscious to us, now the things we struggled with before, we don't struggle with anymore. And now we start to bear fruit from that other tree because that's with Jesus, right? It's not so many people get born again, but they never have a relationship with God. And what they're doing is they're just trying to discipline themselves. Oh, I keep sinning. Let me stop.
Right.
You're not. That's your old nature. You're not going to be able to do that.
Yeah.
You have to go to the place where you can see Jesus the way he wants you to see him. That's where we humble ourselves, and I'm just saying all this because like everything she was saying and all these people they were showing, all the news outlets that they were showing that are twisting everything that he's saying. He's speaking about an ideology, right? When people want the wickedness in us, they're hearing something else because of what's in them that they want to hold on to, right? And they'll only discipline themselves. It's like a child. Like, all right, I'll discipline myself, but what do I get out of it?
Right.
Right? What's the quickest way to discipline a child? You give them something to look forward to. You give them something to look forward to. If you do this, I'll do this for you. That's how animalistic we are. So when Jesus calls the woman a dog, that's what he's speaking to.
Right.
He's speaking to that nature because your dogs will be disciplined based off of how much you put food in front of their face and you deny them the food until they learn. You know what I mean? That's it. Like your dogs, it's not that your dogs are just great animals and they're loving. They're so loving. No, they're not. They really just care about that food and they know you provide it. I'm not saying that dogs can't be sweet. But what I am saying is that a lot of their behavior is in getting that food.
Right.
Yeah.
getting what they desire. And that's why Jesus calls us dogs in a way. You can't throw what's holy to dogs because they don't care. They gonna just mess it up. So we're looking at this, and we have to be smart in terms of not getting into a fight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? With the ideology.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's where like it can go the other way. Like, yeah, this ideology is a problem, but it's not going to happen because you're just telling people truth.
Mm-hmm.
Most people don't care, obviously. Yeah. You could tell them truth to their face and they're just going to get offended.
Yep.
And they're going to go the other way. But how can you reach them in a way where they can receive you? That's hard because now you got to humble yourself.
That's hard.
Yeah, let's keep going.
Rather than focusing on the fact that we have a serious gun violence problem that continues to go unaddressed, rather than focusing on the fact that 6 more people are dead, rather than focusing on the fact that those staff and children should have been safe in that school, or focusing on the fact that children do not feel safe in their own schools, rather than focusing on any of this, they have decided they need to cause more harm. This isn't a new phenomenon. It's been happening. It's been happening in this country for many years.
Let me just look at how people do. They give you what you should be focusing on,
mm-hmm.
and then tell you they're not, rather than focusing on this thing over here. So you're not focused. See what they're giving you. You don't have to even focus on that.
Yeah.
Is that the core issue? What she's saying, is that the core issue? No, it's not.
No.
That's not the core issue. The core issue is, why are people using the guns?
Yeah.
Why are they going and shooting people?
Right. Why do they feel like that is the answer to their problem?
That's the problem.
Yeah.
Nobody's dealing with that.
Yeah.
No, we're just saying it's okay that you feel like you're a woman. And matter of fact, I'm going to give you everything you need to make you feel that way.
Right.
You're perpetuating the delusion.
And it's, now that you are upset about something or offended by something, it's not wrong that you wanted to kill people over that. It's, we shouldn't have guns because then you couldn't have done it.
Yeah. Right. But these are the arguments. We're not doing this. We're not focusing on the fact. No, that's not even the problem. Guns don't kill people. People use guns to kill people.
Right.
Right, Mo?
And in other places as well. The Holocaust, the Japanese internment camps of the 1940s.
Hold on. Are we really comparing the treatment, the treatment of folks from the OGTV, specifically the T in this community, who have all the legal rights and all the legal protections, and there's some discussion on if children should be allowed to take hormone blockers, blah, 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 like laws. We're comparing the laws against children being able to take medication, some of the same medication that is irreversible at times, because the same medication sometimes, not all the time.
And that's one of the biggest lies that they always say. They always say that it's just a pause. It's reversible. It's not. Mm-hmm. It's not. And it's completely disingenuous, especially for the main one that they use that is also used in chemical castration.
Yeah.
When a lot of these doctors suggest for people to bank sperm or eggs before they do these treatments, because there's a chance that you won't be able to have children. Mm-hmm. Also, if you're talking about starting kids on these blockers at early ages, like some of them as early as 10 years old, we saw this with Jazz Jennings, that it stunts your growth in such a way where there's irreparable damage to your genitalia, and that can affect furthering the transition surgeries that you want to get. And then I'm going to show you an article of someone who just died because of that very same thing.
The 18-year-old?
Yeah.
It's used to chemically castrate.
Yo, can you bring this up real quick that I just sent you?
Yeah.
Because it's a man talking about that. What you're just saying.
Okay. Pull it down, at least for a second.
So he went through the hormones.
Oh, I seen this.
You saw that?
Yeah.
And now he's saying like, this is what I sound like.
Mm,
And I don't want to be. He doesn't want to be a woman.
Yeah, I've seen this. Okay. All right, you can pull it back.
So this is a man transitioning into a woman.
This is a man that transitioned into a woman
At a younger age.
but then doesn't want to anymore.
Man, this is what I look like. This is what I sound like as an almost 30-year-old man. This is what happens when you let people transition in adolescence before they had a chance to grow up, before they had a chance to even learn who they were. Not just but pressure people to transition at these ages. Young, vulnerable people who are already so suggestible. And I feel like everyone is ignoring the pain because they are afraid that it threatens their choices and their narrative. If you want to transition in your 20s, you've had a chance to be a man or a woman, and this is what you want to do. Okay, that's one thing. I do take accountability. I did it in secret from my parents. I take accountability for all of my choices. But when is the trans community going to take accountability for theirs? For leading me down this path? This is the face of an almost 30-year-old man. This is the voice of an almost 30-year-old man. I'm an almost 30-year-old.
Yeah. And you're hearing this even more so often that like you feel pressured, you feel led down this path because the community gives you adoration and all of this praise for,
being brave.
Yeah. So, it's enticing, especially for an insecure person that feels like they don't, feel comfortable in their own skin, whatever, it may be.
And when a lot of this damage is done and it's irreversible, you're left impotent. You're left, with a lot of that stuff that he's dealing with, and you got to deal with that the rest of your life.
Yep.
And it sucks. It sucks, and it doesn't have to happen if there are more people that are like, that shouldn't be happening.
Yeah.
Standing up and not staying quiet. And, well, that's their problem over there. I'm not going to. No.
Let me show you guys this. This is you call this reversible? You call this pull this up, Lise. You call this reversible? This is a girl's forearm. Her muscles have been farmed to create a fake phallus that doesn't function. They will try to make her a fake urethra. She'll probably be incontinent. She will certainly never function like a man, and her muscles won't grow back. Google phalloplasty. And this is, you saw this with the What is a Woman documentary, the same thing.
Yeah.
But this is what they're doing.
That one looks worse, though.
That looks crazy.
Wow. I saw this chart the other day. Nearly 20% of Gen Z is LGBT. That's 1 in 5 people. So they're showing the statistics from 2014, 2017, 2020. Look at that spike in Gen Z.
Yeah, Bill Marshall showed a chart like that.
So yellow is millennials. So how is that possible? Look at 2022.
Like we said on the last show, porn.
Yeah. Yep.
That's one of the biggest things.
Yeah.
Because again, it wasn't as
prominent,
accessible.
Yeah.
Even like 10 years ago.
It's so damaging. Right? Yeah.
Do what you want. Do what thou wilt.
Another example right here. This is what I was talking about. This is from the Post Millennial. So let me show you guys this article. If it loads up properly. No. Trans teen died from vaginoplasty complications during landmark Dutch study used to justify child sex changes. So in this article, it breaks down a 2016 medical article documenting the tragic death of one of the participants in a Dutch study upon which the entire child sex change experiment is based indicates that puberty suppression was to blame for the young person's death. The cases of a 18-year-old trans-identified male whose puberty was blocked by the Dutch researchers at a very early stage. So they were trying to do this study to show the effects if you use puberty blockers on young kids.
So they're using it on a person?
Yeah. they're using puberty blockers. They were doing a study. So they were like, we're going to have this group of people, controlled study, where we test these blockers on people. And say they had this person that was an 18-year-old trans-identified male whose puberty was blocked by the Dutch researchers at very early stage, meaning there wasn't enough penile tissue for surgeons to use or create a neo-vagina. It's the same thing we heard about with Jazz Jennings.
Yeah.
Same identical situation. Therefore, a more risky procedure using section of the patient's bowel. We talked about this. They used the colon or they used stomach lining, something like that, which resulted in a fatal necrotizing fasciitis, which is like flesh-eating bacteria, because you figure fecal matter getting into the wrong places. That's not meant to happen.
Right.
A surgical setting like that. The absence of a functional vagina, negative effect, sexual quality of transgender women, and explains the multiple surgical procedures have been described for vaginal reconstruction in these patients. The patient is described as being a healthy 18-year-old for whom the standard vaginoplasty surgery was not feasible due to having an underdeveloped genitalia as a result of early puberty suppression. Transgender women with early onset gender dysphoria treated with puberty suppressing hormones report fewer behavioral and emotional problems and an improvement of general functioning. Readers are assured at this point. Like, they're still trying to say this. Like, if you're treated earlier, you'll be higher functioning.
They're always trying to assure you.
Yeah. It says major complications began within 24 hours of the surgery. Necrotizing fasciitis was confirmed in the days following, despite large doses of intravenous antibiotics and repeated surgical debridement. The previous healthy patient went into multiple organ failure and died. Yeah. This article goes on to explain more about it, but yeah, it's on the Post Millennial if you guys want to check it out. They even mentioned Jazz Jennings in the article. But I mean, you really think you really are trying to convince people that this should be normalized?
Yeah, it's called grooming.
You want to call it See, they try to use this fluffed up language to make you okay with it. Gender affirming care.
Affirming, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Did y'all? I know you guys heard about the Marcus Houston.
Yes.
Stuff, right?
Yes.
Like where he's married to
like a 19-year-old girl or something.
Well, I think she's 20 now.
Yeah.
But he did like a countdown till she was 18. Like, and then got engaged and then got married.
Didn't Travis Scott do the same thing with Kylie Jenner? Like they were, or no, it wasn't Travis Scott. It was Tyga, right? Wasn't he dating Kylie Jenner when she was like underage, but they were trying to keep it hush hush, like they were just friends?
Maybe, but this girl, like, she was a runaway, right?
Yeah, I sent y'all that.
Yeah, you did.
You call it?
Yeah,
and it seemed like she could have been like around 14 or something.
Yeah, because they posted something, and it went viral because people did the math.
Yeah, because he said like.
Yeah,
he said
celebrating 10 years or something like that, and she was like 20 something.
Yeah,
and
I think she was like 22,
and
or
they
something.
were like the post that I sent was a guy saying, "I'm not good at math, but this ain't mathing to me."
Yeah, this ain't mathing.
This math ain't mathing. Yeah. I mean, this is just sick, man.
But
this is sick.
But it's the same.
I gotta play it.
It's the same lines.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's the same lines, along the same lines as this. It's just to a greater extent but it's mentally you're grooming.
Yeah.
And even like think about it, like your mind doesn't stop growing. Your mind doesn't stop maturing until you're like what, 25?
25, yeah, is what they believe now. But we're constantly learning. This changes all the time. So
right,
So,
but what I'm saying is it's easier to manipulate 14, 15, 16, 17-year-old because you can just see, oh, that's what they want. Okay.
Right.
Like it's
feed into that and then they'll,
yeah, it's easy to manipulate that.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's funny because like the more you know, the more you see, like the more you understand things in the world, the more you know, the more knowledge you have. It's just so easy to see how that correlates with responsibility.
Yeah.
And if you don't have responsibility, which responsibility is the right response, right? If your response is in how you feel, then you're going to take that knowledge and use it in a very bad, irresponsible way. And you don't understand the damage it's going to do, not only to you, but to everybody else around you.
Yeah.
See, that's where it goes back to, like, that's why people get kicked out the house.
Mhm.
Because a father, and I notice people could, oh my gosh, like, you're going to kick your son out the house or whatever. The reason why I keep going back to that is because people don't understand that if you got a bunch of kids and one kid is being so disrespectful and doesn't want to listen and wants to do whatever he wants, he's not only doing damage to himself, he's doing damage to the whole household,
Right.
and disrupting the order of that household.
One bad apple spoils the bunch, right?
There you
That's
go.
the saying. Yeah. I mean, it's to me, it's just like there's so many more things I want to say, just to put it in perspective of my daughter's here, so I'm keeping it
Yeah.
PG. But just the idea that you're taking a boy and doing this surgery and creating a wound that only serves a really weird purpose. Weird. Like completely crazy, disgusting.
It's deviant.
Yeah.
Deviant.
Therefore, we do not want it.
Sarah said Jazz died. No,
No, not
That was
Jazz.
the article about
Someone
else
who had
that-
the same exact surgery as Jazz and had complications. Jazz had complications as well. Had to get the surgery redone 4 different times. But this person had the same surgery and passed away, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Due to bacteria because of the using of the colon.
Shout out to Emma.
Yeah, shout out
greetings,
Emma.
guy. Jay Cope said, "What up, fellas?"
What up, Jay? Yeah, man, it's crazy. I know. So let me play this clip that you had of what we're talking about. This
Oh, we weren't done watching
what?
the other videos. I mean, you could show that now. But.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's along the same lines.
Okay.
Then we'll go back to the other ones. Just want to.
It will be the last mistake you ever make.
It's so annoying. That's why I hate using shorts and Instagram clips.
I
notice
dare you.
I rarely ever use them.
I dare you to try and stop a transgender woman in my presence from using the bathroom. It will be the last mistake you ever make. This is a call to action. Go out, buy a gun, learn how to use it efficiently, through and through, because the time to act is now. You need to protect yourself, and you need to protect your fellow transgender brothers and sisters and theys and thems. You need to protect the rest of us in the LGBT community.
Not exactly the best way to advocate that biological men should be allowed in women's spaces. Are we still going to act like this isn't a women's safety issue? Because that sounded like a direct threat to me. And I'll grant that not everybody in the trans community feels that very extreme way about this issue, but can you see why women would be concerned about this? It's getting more and more ridiculous as the days go by.
Yeah. I mean, it's a direct call to violence. And, we keep getting gaslit that it's people, it's Christians who are calling for genocide. It's conservatives who are calling for genocide.
Yeah, it's the right.
Yeah.
That was the other clip I
AOC just was talking about that about Tucker Carlson. They're like, he's incited violence so much that, it's good that he's been deplatformed.
Right. Inciting is, you can't have a conversation with people. You can't challenge people. That's inciting violence.
Right.
It's crazy.
Yep. Disagreeing with someone is inciting violence. All right, let's go back to this.
But that goes back to that other clip I sent you.
You want me to play that?
Might as well.
Okay. It's another Instagram clip.
Let me show y'all something my cousin Corey Yeshua sent me. If you go to TikTok and you put in the search bar, I hate the alphabet, people, it says no results found. You put in I hate the J's, it says get the facts. Even when you put in I hate Zums, it says no results found. But when you put in the search bar I hate Christians, they got all kind of videos on there. For some reason, that's not a boundary you can't cross. For some reason, that's not hate speech. For some reason, when it comes to Christians, it's okay. Now you tell me, is something off about that? All these other categories, you can't put that because it's hate speech. But when it comes to Christians, ladies and gentlemen, I told y'all plenty of times before, it's a spiritual battle, it's a spiritual war. And what's on the spiritual side, know what the truth is. That's why it's okay to say things like this. But when you look up everything else, it's just not there. That should tell you something.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about that so many times on here. It's open season on Christianity.
Yeah.
100%. You can mock Jesus, you can mock Christians, and it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not
On
considered
the
hate
biggest
speech.
platforms, it
Any
don't matter.
platform. They can do it on cable news. They can do it on
The
corporate,
Grammys.
and any network. You know, we talked about Joe Rogan had the dude from Babylon B on, and he even brought it up, how Christianity is the only religion that you're allowed to talk about and make fun of. Even Joe Rogan brought that up. If you look at Chat GPT, and so many people have done this as well, Chat GPT will not do an Islamic joke. It won't do a Jewish joke. It won't do
I saw that.
It won't do a joke against. It will not make an offensive joke against any other religion. But if you ask it to make a joke about Jesus, it will give you 50,000 of them. You know what I mean? So it's a clear double standard, and I think there's a reason for that. Like Dude was saying, it's a spiritual warfare, and I think a lot of it is because. A lot of it is because of who Jesus was as well. Like Jesus talks about turning the other cheek.
Yeah, I mean, he says you have heard it said an eye for an eye.
Yeah,
right. A tooth for a tooth. What is that? What is that about? It means if somebody plucks out your eye, you pluck out their eye.
Right.
But it's funny because it goes back to the whole false witness thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's where it's like connected to that, right?
Yeah.
And it's funny how, like I was saying this earlier, how your witness is established with two, right? And even that is connected to marriage, right? Because going back to a house is connected to the number two. So when two people come together, that's a household, right? And then that's the only way you can birth. That's the only way family can start. That's where the establishment starts. So 2 or 3 witnesses. That's where the establishment is. So you have 2, but then 3 is like a child born in, right? So when you have people, if you have 2 witnesses that are false, they had to conspire together because they got to get their story right. You know, they can't just go and because if one says something, right, you know by hearing the other one. If they're both lying, but they didn't come together and work out the details.
Yeah.
But even that, you can question them more and more, even if they worked out details, because it can't work out everything, right? And this is what they would this is in like Deuteronomy.
Right.
So that's where the whole eye for an eye thing comes from. You know what I mean? But Jesus says, but I said,
right,
love your enemies.
Yeah.
So that's the difference between everything else.
Yeah.
You know, every other religion is that we're still commanded to love. Doesn't mean that speak the truth in love. Doesn't mean we don't speak the truth. We speak the truth, but never going to, punch somebody in the face.
Right.
Never going to shoot somebody. You know what I mean? Like that's not happening because you said something to me. Because you're lashing out at me. Now we have to learn these things sometimes because we get put in positions that challenge us.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like the tenets of Christianity teach us that just because someone mocks Jesus or talks about Jesus doesn't mean we need to take action against them.
No, it actually says to expect it.
Yeah.
And it's not because of us, it's because of him.
Right.
Like that's going to happen.
And all these other religions don't teach that.
No.
Islam teach if you talk about, Muhammad, we have to kill you,
Because wisdom, and I'm talking about establishment again, because let wisdom be vindicated by her children. Our vindication is not our responsibility. It's God's.
Right.
So when we humble ourselves, that's foolish to people. That's why you can have like somebody like a Andrew Tate, right? He was coming against like
he said
the Christianity.
Yeah, he left being an Orthodox Christian because he said they're too soft, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
But the only way you really establish things, right at the beginning of the show, what we talk about, establishment is the same word as rise or raise up. So God will raise you up in your humility. God will raise you up in your foolishness. When you die to wanting to do the things that you feel, somebody did this to me, I'm going to do it to them.
Right.
When you die to those things, you're actually establishing God in your life and he'll raise you up.
Now, I do want to establish that there is a difference between the need to retaliate and the idea of holding the line as far as what God says and not bending to the will of others.
Yeah.
You know, and not
that's speaking the truth in love.
Because I think on that side of what Andrew Tate was talking about, he's right. Where it's like Christians will easily give up ground a lot.
Right.
In
the name of love. Right?
And acceptance.
But that's not really like what's another inclusivity.
Yeah.
Right? There is inclusivity in God. There is acceptance. God accepts all people.
Right.
He includes everyone.
Right.
Right? It's not like if you look at Jesus, he was always defying culture. He was always going past the cultural norms, right, of the day. Because it wasn't about the culture.
Right.
But the inclusivity is dependent on if you're going to accept and believe in him.
Right.
Not believe in yourself. And again, that's a marriage that's selfish.
Right. And the inclusivity is God accepts all people who want to accept and believe in him and seek in him. But we don't accept everything about your life that doesn't line up with that.
Right.
You know?
Because he's good.
Right.
He's always good. But he's going to challenge us. Are we going to stay faithful when we're challenged?
Right, exactly.
In life.
Thera said, this is crazy. They want to ban the Aretha song, I'm Every Woman, because it's offensive to transgender. We are living in Revelation. It's in the word. And then she said, you better preach.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we got to wrap it up there, man, because I got to get this girl to bed. So, sorry. Sorry, guys.
Oh, yeah, it got late quick.
We're going to...
Can we just, real quick, let's just finish this video, because I just want to show what he says at the end, just so we can see what this genocide is all about that they're talking about.
Okay.
Stay offenders. We're comparing this to the Holocaust? We're comparing actual removal of people, like real life removal of people, to you shouldn't teach this to kids in school. This is
segregation.
And we shouldn't have
forcibly
drag queens.
Sending indigenous children to residential schools.
How is this the same thing?
Migrants being held in cages. The list goes on.
These are false equivalencies. All those things aren't good, but these are false equivalencies. Words mean something. And as the commemoration of the Armenian genocide is coming up, I am Armenian. I take deep offense in you comparing whatever plight you think of your community to actual people who lost ancestors in an actual genocide that just recently got recognized by the American government.
Cambodian
this is
genocide.
extremely offensive.
And it didn't have to happen this way. Jesus did not die for this. Jesus did not die so that violence could be perpetuated in God's name. Jesus did not die for access.
See, violence perpetuating. Who's violent against these people? I'm curious. 2022. You know how many attacks were against folks from this community? Chat, throw out a number. How many folks from this community do you think were attacked and terminated? Because they're saying genocide. That's the language they're using.
Yeah.
They're saying genocide. They're saying that's the language they're using. Christians are committing genocide. According to PBS, 32.
Rather than focusing on the fact that
32 people.
Yeah.
And he even brings up a point like, and how many of those people were against were attacks against their own communities.
Yeah,
because
and how
that
many
happens all
and
the
how
time.
many of those people were in sex work, and how many of those people, because a lot of people don't factor in that to the equation too, because a lot of times that's what it is. A lot of times those people are in terrible situations as far as like lifestyle choices. They're in sex work. That's why they're getting attacked disproportionately.
Right.
But yeah, that's a crazy type of spin to put on it, to call it genocide, to call it a Holocaust, and try to compare it to those things is crazy. Stan sent me this clip that does go right along with it. I'm not going to show it, but I'm going to read what Biden said, because he got up there and said in front of everybody that there's no such thing as someone else's child. Our nation's children are all of our children. That is a communist concept, and it's also a way to implement policies that allow the government and the state to dictate what we're allowed to do with our children, as they just passed in Virginia and a couple other states, where they can take action against the parents if they don't give their children
Washington.
Yeah. If they don't give them gender affirming care, they can take action against the parents and take your children from you. So like you said, this is something that we need to be praying about. This is something that we need to be, we need to understand what type of war this is spiritually. This is not about taking action and violence against people, because that's you could see clearly, like, that's what they're going to use to push these agendas even further. It's about a spiritual warfare. It's about prayer. It's about protecting your family and, making sure everybody is.
Because logically, it makes no sense. Like, just when you say a word like genocide, it becomes null and void when it's 32 people.
Right.
And it's not even funny, but it's funny because what are we even talking about?
Exactly.
Now we don't even know what anything means anymore.
But that's the point. I mean, how many years have we been hearing fascist?
Yeah.
How many years have we been hearing Nazi?
Right.
These terms now
Trump is Hitler.
It just means anyone I don't like. If you disagree with me, you're causing genocide. It's violence.
Yeah.
Your words are violence.
And it also shows how privileged we are as a society.
Yeah.
Because we can say these things.
Right. And feel like they're true.
And feel like they're true.
That is a Marxist tactic that is being taught in schools to advocates, to activists. And it's causing huge problems. We have to trust and focus on God in times like these. Courtney Davis just chimed in. Shout out to Courtney, Lion King level Patreon member. Thank you for joining in. But yeah, we're wrapping up, guys. We got to go. Thank you guys for watching. We appreciate y'all. Don't forget, if you want to support what we're doing, please sign up to become a Patreon member. Go to patreon.com/youngliontv, because I guarantee you this type of conversation is not gonna last, especially on YouTube and Facebook. Rumble might give us a little more platform, but we need y'all support to keep it going. So make sure you sign up over there. Don't forget, you can get our merch at our merch store, which is in the description of all the videos. Also, our song Release just came out. Make sure you go stream that everywhere. Look for Jatan Release. And I think that's it. Shout out to everybody for joining us. Thank you for all the comments. Make sure you like the video on your way out. Subscribe on YouTube. Hit that Rumble button. Follow us on Rumble. And
shout out to Lisi.
Shout out to Lisi for
helping us.
For doing
Thank
a
you,
great
Lise.
job tonight.
We love you.
And we know this was a lot to talk about, but but yeah, we'll see you guys next week. Thank you. And we're out. Peace.
Young lion, go live, yeah. Young lion, you rich, yeah. This kingdom has room, yeah. Go and fight people.